What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Anfernee, and with it being the start of 2022 right now, I know there's a lot of aspiring millionaires out there searching the internet for any information they can find that will help them start a business, help them build wealth, help them save money, help them buy stocks in the stock market, and overall, maybe just looking for a place to start. So if you're an aspiring millionaire, then you clicked on the perfect video. In this video, I'm going to go over 5 books that every single aspiring millionaire should read. These aren't just stock market books or real estate books. These are books that will put you in the right mindset in order to start building exponential wealth. And you know, we got to start this video off with a banger and a little bit of a controversial book to keep the people interested. And the first book that I recommend every single aspiring millionaire should read is this book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a... You can get the idea. And although the title is a little bit funny and it definitely grabs people's attention, this book is really driven towards the idea that finding something meaningful in your life, something that you are passionate about, is the most important use of your time and energy. And the book showcases that every life is going to have problems. Whether you're rich, whether you're poor, whether you're Elon Musk or Bill Gates, every life comes with a set of unique problems associated with it. So what this book drives you to do is to stop caring about the public's opinion, stop caring about who will think what if you try to start a business, and just do it because it is your life, and you being happy in your own life is what is most important. And how I believe that this book will help you on your journey to being a millionaire is because usually when someone is starting a new business or someone is starting to try to make money in a new way, they tend to think that people will laugh at them or make jokes at them if they see them trying to improve themselves. 99% of the time, everyone in the rest of the world won't care. You'll probably be the only one overthinking how much everyone would care to even have an opinion on what you're doing. Over half the time, they're just simply going to ignore you. So this book starts with the mindset of deflecting the public's opinion and just focusing on what makes you happy. And this next book is probably solely responsible for more millionaires than any other book ever published in history. This book has inspired billionaires, been revolutionized over time, and the strategies in this book still work in the year 2022 if you're looking to get started today. And that book that I'm talking about is none other than Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. The main plot factor in the book Think and Grow Rich is that it follows the protege of Andrew Carnegie, who would have been a modern day billionaire or a trillionaire if he lived long enough. The book goes over the Carnegie's secret, or the secret that allows just about anybody, and I mean anybody, to be successful. And although there are a whole bunch of key points and juicy factors in this book, one of the main takeaways that I want to share of this book is what Napoleon said was the starting point to all of riches. And Napoleon Hill said that the starting point, the absolute starting point to all riches is desire. He said that what you desire or what you think about the absolute most is what you will become in the future. So if you're constantly thinking about becoming a millionaire, if you're constantly thinking of different ways to make money so that you can make this dream come true, if that is what your desire is, and your desire is strong enough to push you to consistently take action, then that is what you will become in the future. And what I love about this book is that he provided you with a 6-step formula in order for you to structure your desire to something that you can write down and read every day in an easy format in order to keep you motivated. So Napoleon Hill said that you can accomplish your desire in 6 steps. The first of those steps is to fix your mind on the exact amount of money that you want in the future. Whether it's $1 million, $10 million, or $1 billion, give yourself a specific number so you have a specific goal to work towards. After you do this, you then want to write down what you intend to give in return for this money. This is the starting structure of your business. Do you want to sell a product? Do you want to sell a service? Do you want to upload YouTube videos? Do you want to detail cars? What is going to be the driving factor that is going to be leading you to your specific amount of money that you wrote down? And then after you write this down, you then want to write a definitive date of where you want to have this money by. You can be as unrealistic or as realistic as possible, but the idea here is to write down a date. Write down January 1st, 2025. Give yourself a timeline so that you can keep yourself on track of reaching this goal. Next, what Napoleon Hill stated that you should do is write down a definitive plan of how you want to get this money and start this plan today. If your plan is to post YouTube videos, start planning YouTube videos. Don't wait 2 weeks after starting this process. Start on your plan as soon as you're done with this. And then after you have those 4 statements written down, that is sort of your mission statement. That is your plan, and you want to put that plan on the wall, on your phone, or somewhere where you can see it and read it every day. You want to be constantly reminding yourself of what your goals are so that you can reach them as soon as possible. And the next book I want you to add to your reading list is this gem called Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. I'm pretty sure I read this book before, Think and Grow Rich, and how this book can help turn you into a millionaire is that it shows you the importance of compound interest. The main premises behind Slight Edge is that it shows you how small incremental improvements, 1% improvements each day, can lead to exponential results. I bet you can start to see a pattern here. By doing small things today, by the end of this year, your future self will thank you tremendously if you just started one small thing today and got 1% closer to your goal every single day. By doing that 1% a day, by the end of the year, you'll be 365% better. I know there's a little bit of math around and off there, but essentially you'll be exponentially better by the end of the year just by by getting 1% better each day. And probably the most impactful quote that I can pull from this book simply says the journey starts with a single step, not with thinking about taking a step. When you're starting a business or when you're starting a new side hustle, there can be so many things that you need to do. You need to worry about what equipment you need. You need to worry about how much funding you need, where you're going to get that money from, how much money you're going to make. And when all of these inputs get clogged into your brain, you can then have analysis paralysis and end up not doing anything at all. So instead, take a step back, breathe, and start with one single thing and take that first single step. And for the people that's been around the channel for a while, you guys know that I simply can't make a book recommendation video without recommending Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. This is an absolute classic. This book is the reason why I am the way I am today. The only reason why I decided to start a YouTube channel around personal finance, and the only reason why I actually majored in finance at college. So Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki really revolutionizes the way people think about money. The plot factor in this book shows Robert as a kid with one dad, his actual dad, as his poor dad, who had a stable 9-to-5 job, who worked for many years and retired on a pension, and overall lived a very good but ordinary life. And then Robert talks about his friend's dad, who he refers to as his rich dad. And the lessons that his rich dad taught him was that the rich don't work for money. The rich don't actively trade their time for money. And what they do instead is they allow that money to work for them, and that money can work a lot harder for them because of compound interest. And the book says that the way to do this is to acquire assets over a long period of time. He breaks down the everyday American or person in this world into 3 wealth classes. You have the poor, the middle class, and the rich. He says that poor people tend to focus on buying stuff with their money, or things that generally tend to be wasted or used for a short period of time before thrown away. He then moves on to say that the middle class acquire liabilities. Now, while the middle class may look rich because they have a nice house and the fancy cars, they tend to have a lot of debt associated with those assets, and overall that debt pulls money from their pockets every single month. So while they may look like they're building a higher lifestyle, overall at the end of the month, they may not have much more money than a poor person because they're spending all their money on their liabilities. He then goes on to say that rich people acquire assets over time, or things that gain in value over time. So in order to transform yourself from a middle class person to a rich person, all you have to do is make the decision to yourself that instead of buying a new car for $30,000, you may instead choose to buy a rental property that has $300 a month in cash flow, or buy $30,000 worth of stock, or put it in some asset or asset class that generates money over time. I love this book because it is so simple to understand, and it probably has changed the direction of millions of lives simply by changing the way they think about their spending and how they treat their money. And next we have an absolute gem of a book. A lot of the books that I talked about up to this point are a little bit more generic, and they may not actually give everyone an actionable plan they can start today. Other than Think and Grow Rich, a lot of the other books are about mindsets, but this next book is a little bit more finance oriented. It's going to give you an exact plan and timeline of what you should do in order to start building wealth, or in order to just improve your financial situation. So this next book is called Financial Freedom by Grant Sabater, and I can lay out the premises of this book in 7 easy steps. The first step that this book goes over is finding out your financial freedom number, or finding out how much money you would need in order to retire. You can easily do this by multiplying your monthly expenses by 12 and dividing that number by 0.04. So for example, if you spent $5,000 a month or $60,000 a year, you would divide that number by 0.04 and you get $1.5 million. That's how much money you would need in order to be financially free. Once you do this, the second step is to calculate where you are right now. Find out how much debt you have, find out how many assets you have, and overall find out what your foundation level is so you know where you want to build up to. But the next step is a really big one. The book talks about changing the way you think. And in this sense, it's talking about changing the way you think about a dollar. When you go out and spend $10 on something that you don't need, that is not just $10 wasted today that you can go make at work tomorrow. But what that actually is $1,000 worth of potential money in the future had you invest in it. So the book goes over exactly how you can change the way you think about money. And then it goes over hacking your 9-to-5, starting a side hustle, and changing the way you budget. But the overall reason I want to get you to read this book is because it motivates you to invest as early as possible, and it shows you what exactly can happen if you let compound interest work in your favor. And those are my top 5 picks that I think every aspiring millionaire should read. And honestly, I'm always open to having new book suggestions. So if you have any books that you think I should read personally, then leave them down in the comments below, because I'm always trying to learn more and build better habits in order to be as productive and as efficient as possible. But I really hope you did enjoy this video. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, then go sign up to Public, where if you go sign up using the link in the description below, you will get a free fractional share of your choice for about 9 different stocks, and that is a great way to start off your millionaire journey. Also subscribe if you like content like this, and I'll see you in the next one, guys.